All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. You know, yesterday on the world's Christmas, I began to chuckle because I went on the news sources just to see what the news media was going to do. And of course, they did exactly what I expected them to do, and I'm going to let you in on what I'm about to say, all right? They went to different places in the world, like Bangladesh, the Filipinos, Brazil. They went to all these places, places in Africa, they went all over the place. They showed different captions in the world of people celebrating Christmas, and clearly, what you can truly see is it's every one of them was all Catholic. Every single one of them, they still bowing down to statues, bowing down to idols, making smoke and eating cookies and wafers and carry on. But what they did, they showed you all the places where the colonization, or let me just say the influence of the European religion called Christianity had its place. And they're trying to show you, see, look, Christmas is worldwide. I'll show you Christmas ain't worldwide. It's only the people who have been influenced by these people who have some issues with dark color skin. And I know it's always a very unhealthy and uncomfortable topic. The only time it's not unhealthy and uncomfortable is when history is pressed down and when truth is pressed down. It's only uncomfortable when truth is brought up to the forefront to your virgin ears, stuff that you've never heard before. Then things all of a sudden begin to become uncomfortable because you're going to meet some challenges. Your heart is getting ready to be tested. That's the reason why Pastor Dowell is here. I'm here to test you and try you. And some of you people, I found out exactly who you were yesterday. I'm set up here talking about different subjects and topics, and all you have to do is go back and look at them. And the first thing that I had a man do is play the race card on me. And I said, that's something. Now, let's just talk about modern history for a second. Have you looked at National Geographic's recast of King Tut? Have y'all seen it yet? We all know that the ancient Egyptians were black people. Like all the Brazilians, they were black people before the Europeans flew 4 million white people into Brazil. And you know what they did? They end up whitewashing Brazil. And then the indigenous people of that land, they're suffering poverty. They're stricken. They're way off in the background. But the lighter skinned counterparts are pushed up front for the TV cameras, for when people go there to see. And I'm telling you, this whitewashing is taking place everywhere. Now, why am I racist? Simply because I'm stating facts that cannot be refuted. I'm not the one that has been toying around and playing around with history. Neither am I the one that has taught you these fairy tales and these lies to believe. I'm not the institution that taught you these things. And yet, still, just because you put mental assent to it does not make it right. The movers and shakers in this world, they have an agenda. And it's amazing. It is literally always amazing to me that people, the ones especially who control things, and that's the reason why they wouldn't let Bill Cosby buy NBC. Because look here, black man, you can't be buying NBC and trying to control the influence of what's going to be put out. So they put up blocks in front of him. And now, of course, Bill Cosby being demonized in the media by the shakedown artist. Because some way, somehow, he done come up against somebody in the New World Order, just like they could do with all of us. I know I'm changing channels here again and again, but you have to understand, our life is just a vapor of mist. And these bankers got billions and billions and trillions of dollars. They have set up a system worldwide that they can print money into infinity in order to take over the whole entire world. The bankers. And of course, you got these sellouts, politicians that is bought into that lie. And I tell you, that's the reason why it's good for you to go back and look at that movie Braveheart. I'm telling you. But this is what they do. The intent of people today, especially Europeans, especially here in America, their intent is, it's like here in this country, in America, you often hear about the Indians that are red, and then they give title and notoriety to those who possess white skin and they look white, even though they have Indian features. But you never hear them talking about the original indigenous people of the land called the Black Indians. As soon as you start bringing up and showing pictures and showing stuff like that, all of a sudden they turn their head, they drop their head. They can't even acknowledge the truth that the original Indians in this country were in fact black people. I'm wondering what the real true races, or who the real true races are. I already know who they are. It's just that trying to get you to see who they are. Even this book right here tells you exactly what they've done. They painted their images into the books. They did. The Greeks did, and the Romans did, and the Americans, the Europeans, they painted their images seeking to change history. So what they do is that they suppress history, all right? And they suppress the truth. They suppress history, they suppress the truth, and then they use a tactic called reverse psychology. And they call anyone who challenges their paradigm of history and anyone who challenges their paradigm of what they have given us to be truth, they use the tactic of reverse psychology and call you a racist for doing it. That's their version. Because you see, they have a version of history and it's not factual and truthful. But there is a underlying tone going on worldwide of white supremacy racism. And of course, hey, you think about this for a second. It's hard for you to speak truth to power, especially if you're white and you can realize what's going on. That's why when I see white brothers that can actually tell the truth about history, no matter what the color is, they got the same spirit in them as I got in me. Because I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to flat out tell the truth about history, whether people like it, understand it, or not. But most people don't know the reason why Brazil is all whitewashed today. They have no idea why the people of that land, Brazil, Puerto Rico, even the Mexicans, or the so-called American Indians, they don't understand the reason why people look like this today is because, you go in and you rape, rob, murder, and pillage a country. You use all these tactics. Only a devil can think like this. I'm telling you. But when you really truly look to see what's going on, it's easier for the white people in this society today who have benefited off of the lies and who have benefited from the money-making projects that has taken place off of cheap slavery. They're going to do everything they can to defend and protect that position because they don't want to be the ass. They want to be the head, not the ass. And so if they have to continue to suppress and cover it up, they will. So when you see people on YouTube that's revealing the true color of Jesus, and they're not playing these old tactics and these racist games, what difference does it make? And I'm going to answer it again for the sake of honoring the truth. Because the one thing the truth does, according to John 8:32, is it sets you free. And you realize quickly that a lot of people don't want to be set free. So, yeah, I've got issues with people who refuse to acknowledge the truth no matter what that truth is. Because if you can't acknowledge the truth, then that means you are a facilitator and a pacifier and a liar like your father, the devil. And if you got challenges in your heart because you feel like that it's going to take you out and you don't have no sense of belonging, that's none of my business. That's between you and the Father. Create the universe, but the bottom line is this. The truth is what set free, and the lie is what binds. And I have a congregation that we're mixed. We got all different types of nationalities in our congregation. You can go back and look at the videos or go to my webpage and see it. And there's not a one of them in there that I can detect that is racist. Now, there was a few that in there to try to fight to keep their white supremacy racism, but if you present so much truth, if they have the spirit of truth, all you can do is yield. That's all there's to it. What does it do? Is that going to make me more powerful than you because I tell you what the truth is? Does that make me greater and better than you? No, Yah is the one who said that Israel, my people, are above all people on the face of this earth. Not only did he say that they are above, Yahweh said in the King James Version of the Bible that they are better than all people on the face of planet earth. And so a lot of you people love biting of this Jewish lie in Israel. The indigenous people of that land, they know full well that there's no way that Israel can leave black and come back white, and then all of a sudden you go, they said, I can't accept you. I cannot accept you. So it's you, the white people, that's making this an issue. I'm telling the truth. Bring your facts, not your arguments. Bring your facts if I'm lying. And why is it so hard for you to get that noogie out of your throat right there and choke it down and become a truther and just stand for that truth? Why is it? Why is it so hard? Does that racism and that spirit of lies run that deep inside of you that it pains you to death? It hurts you so bad to admit it and acknowledge it? Guess what? Pastor Dowell's never going to stop speaking about this truth right here, because it's part of the truth that has been covered up in the Bible. When the Bible says that Paul in the book of Acts was, art thou that Egyptian? He damn sure wasn't saying, are you that white, Greek, European, Roman? He damn wasn't saying that. They wasn't saying that. If Moses grew up there in Egypt and all Egypt was black, every bit of it, I don't care what National Geographic reconstruction or recast of King Tut is saying, they were flat out black. That means Moses was black. Isn't that something? That means that if Joseph was second in command in Egypt, and then by the time his brothers come over there, and here's Joseph painted up like an Egyptian, looked like an Egyptian, they couldn't even recognize him. You know why? Because the Egyptians were black, the ancient Israelites were black. And it's amazing today, because the Europeans, through their colonization, has went and sacked almost every country in this world. And they have recast and redone and repackaged history. And they want us to all believe these lies in order for their lie to continue to keep perpetuating. Because you see, the king is the one who raises up. And I'm talking about Yahshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. Those of us, he puts the inspiration, the spark of spirit in us to stand against all lies. Not only do I stand against the lie of all this mess in social, political, and economics, but especially religious, because whether y'all like it or not, we are spiritual beings. And it's just a sad situation. It's a sad day. Really sad situation. A sad day when you got to the point that it hurts and pains you to acknowledge the truth. Now, Jesus, his parents had to take him into Egypt to hide him from Herod, from killing and murdering him. Isn't that something? And if Egypt was a white culture and white people back then, I'm telling you, there's no way the Messiah could have been hid. I know this hurts. I know it hurts. But if you go over to Revelations, it describes, in the book of Daniel, describes the Messiah. I don't understand what's the problem. When you discover the truth, why not just cast down and throw down a lie, get behind that truth, represent that truth, and be a people of that truth? If you can't do that, then sin is at the door. And that's why I challenge Zach, Dowell, Paul Neeson, all you Messianic Judaizers. I challenge you all to an open discussion on this subject right here. I want to test the limits of your heart. You make a lot of noise. There's a lot of thunder, very little rain. A lot of noise going on out there. Pastor Dowell, I got your spirit. And I'm going to expose all of you wicked deceivers for exactly what you are. I know what's in the crevices of your heart. And that's why I'm going to keep pushing after you. I'm going to keep pushing at you because you're trying to affect change on people who would come to Christ and who would love the truth. You're trying to repackage it and make them a bunch of damn messianics. That's what you're trying to do. And you are liars.